Alright, this is gonna be a quick one. This internet, it ain't even about the internet, but since people wanna put all their attention on the internet, I never really thought many people off the internet or even on the internet had much wisdom. And nowadays, when you look at everybody going on the internet and speaking, like I said many times, everybody want to be a scholar now. Everybody is an educator. Everybody is a teacher. Everybody is a historian. I don't believe none of you, okay? Because it's so quick that you people will jump on Googles, jump on your smartphones, jump on your smart TV, and like, I'm going to say this. I'm from the era where you had to be smart, and smartness was smartness. What was dumb people, okay? And I'm going to say like this. When have these gangsters and when have these snitches become smart people? Okay? When? Especially the ones that don't really care for your community or your hood. The ones that actually are killing. Because, like, I don't care how bad you think you is or how much of a gangster or thug you think you is. You wasn't born no killer. And that's why I don't care about the black man teaching the black man how to be a gangster. That joint is soft. Okay? Because you just showing another man how to be a punk. You're just showing another man how to be. I'm going to say this, man. This world that we live in, I could keep on saying it. People could keep on saying it's sad, but let me be honest, man. I don't like this world. And when you talk about, like, what you mean you don't like this world, I don't like the people. I don't. Because people will continue to put a band-aid on things. But me, I'm going to say it like this, man. If you don't like me in this world, I could care less. Bring it on. Okay? Because I done seen many dirty, stupid human beings in this world where they actually think they are somebody. Whether it's family, friends, or strangers. And one thing that I learned, those who care will care. But those who don't care, your words and your energy don't matter to them. And I'm going to always keep saying this. A lot of black people will act like they tough, but the more I grow and the more I keep learning, I'm not scared to say this. Y'all ain't got no sense, a lot of you black people that think you tough. Okay, because I watch a lot of black people be acting like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Let's be honest, man. You ain't that tough, because I'm going to keep on saying it. When they could lock you up. You ain't that tough when you could be the one that's being in prison. And that's all they could keep on doing is imprisoning you. But you'll think that, oh, everybody go to jail. go to jail, right? But everybody's story wasn't taken like your story was taken. And I'm going to keep on saying it. And this is why I'm going to always say I stand alone. Because when it comes time for real life, and you could take black out of it, right? And black people will still turn against you when it comes to being real in this universe. So, this is why I always say, like, I don't need nobody to be my friend. I don't need no friends in this universe. I am secure with being Delvin. And before that, I'm secure with my soul. Yeah, sorry for that. No, like this, I'm just watching this world turn. Hold on. Wait. I'm just watching this world turn crazy, and I'm not gonna explain foolishness in a world with a bunch of fools, because I'm not from this generation of where people are gonna go with the nonsense and you go with the nonsense and everybody act like stuff is okay. I'm not from that. And I remember you had one of my lady friends, she was there saying that, Delvin, I ain't got no energy to be going back and forth with people. And I said, you know what? I respect that I ain't got the energy for that either, but I do have the energy to put people in their place, because people in this world think that, let me correct myself, people in this world right now think that it's okay for people to disrespect people. People think that it's okay for certain things to go how things are going. For an example, because this is one of the main reasons why I made this live. I'm sick of seeing black people do nonsense and they think it's okay. And then when you speak up about it, they will like to tell you who's black or who's not black or who's white. Let me tell you something. The majority, 80% of the black people on this earth don't care about blackness. So that's why when I talk about black people, everybody else mind your business, because I don't play. And I am not joking. Okay? I may come on this internet and what you see as in positive speaking and motivation, but when it comes to me speaking about my people, don't play with me, because I'm not playing with nobody. It's no holds bar. And this is the nonsense that our people really need to stop. Okay? Stop playing the games. Because I'm not with no games. I'm not going to play no games with nobody when I'm talking about real history or real culture. No. It ain't no time for no games. And this is why I don't get where people talk about they're coming on the internet and if people believe in if this is real or not. Let me tell you something, man. I'm talking to everybody. I'm from an era where we don't play. And if you're playing, you understand what playing is. But grown people got to be grown. And it ain't no joint of where this is, because I'm going to hit in all different areas right here. I'm sick of hearing adults talk about clout chasing and trolling. If you have to really be an adult and say you're clout chasing or you trolling, or even to explain somebody is clout chasing or trolling, and you're scared to say they're being a clown or an idiot or a fool or childish? Hold on. Yeah, excuse me for that. No, cause excuse me, let me open-minded and proud mixed child. Shout out to y'all, much respect and love to y'all, peace and love, man. But I gotta cook right now cause I'm sick of the nonsense and like I'm just sick of the nonsense, for real. I'm just sick of the nonsense. I'm not from a generation where you think that you could be so-called ignorant and you don't have no sense. I'm from a generation where talk all that toughness all you want to, right? But you better have a brain. Okay? And when I call these people stupid or anybody stupid, if you have a problem with it, I could care less. Okay? Because I'm not from this generation of cuddling your emotions. Get that out of here. I'm not from that. For real. You think it's okay for people to be talking nonsense to people and people let that joint slide? No. Okay, I'm from a generation and I'm from an era where people put people in their place. Nowadays, we got everything all out of place and people looking at everything like it's normal. No, it's not normal. Telling adults that they're clout chasing or they're trolling, that's not normal. That's stupidity and childish. It's retardation. Okay? Because how could you be an adult and really say, oh, I'm trolling? No. Why you think people get on the internet nowadays and they don't say if somebody's running a play or being for real? No. Because the anger you hear in my voice right now, it ain't nothing made up and played about that. You think you could make up something of you being angry, of your people acting like children when they adults? You think you can make that up? That ain't nothing you can make up. But they want to say, oh, we're trolling, we're doing it for money. Well, you know what? Let me hit on that too. I could care less about your views. I could care less about your likes. I could care less about your subscribers. I could care less about your comments. Because I'm talking to everybody now on the earth. If you thinking that we are going to move on like humans, right? And everybody are caring for views, and these views are adding up to decimal points as in money, I could give a damn. Okay? Because the same money the man make is the same money I will burn down. Okay? You think if you talking about every day you believe in God or you believe in the Almighty, this is why I say I don't care what people say. I watch what you do and I care what you do. Because what you say, let me tell you this. Everybody have a lip and tongue. Everybody could speak. Everybody could converse. But it's not everybody could do good deeds. And it's not everybody could be true to what they say. Okay? Because just because you say, oh, I'm a Muslim, what does that mean? Hold on, please. Nah, you know, like, I am very much sick of the nonsense. And they say, oh, and it's not about saying it's none of your business. No, no. This nonsense that goes on in the world, it is my business, okay? And it's many people business, because how you must live in a world where adults are acting like children, and then you have children so-called acting like adults in a weird way, to the point where, what do you mean, Delvin? You have young ladies trying to grow up very quick. You have young men trying to grow up very quick. How do you think that these young ladies want to act like they're old women, of being strippers, hoes, prostitutes? How do you think that a little kid, 13 years old, they thinking they will want to explain to you is where he from? No, it's the society that he lives in as a whole, okay? Because you want to talk about a young kid, 12 years old, growing up in Compton. So you telling me I must really have to waste my life, and I have to go and live how everybody else is living around me? I must turn into an animal? And some people will say, yo, that don't sound right. No, it's not. Okay, and that's what's happening. Because if you're from the South Bronx, right? If you're from a certain block on the South Bronx, certain people will tell you you have to be raised an animal. You have to become an animal. If you was raised in Brownsville or something, they'll tell you you have to become an animal. You have to become a savage. And I'm going to say, like I've been saying, when is it correct, right? Or when is it right for our people not to become savages or ignorant or crazy just because of where we come from? These people didn't come from nowhere, and they showed you how you live correctly. But then after that, our people will want to switch it around, and we think that we're supposed to live how the Caucasian race live. No! No! And you must follow them. That's decency. You follow them. That's correct. You follow them. That's how you're supposed to talk. No! And this is why I could laugh at a lot of stuff in society that people look at in the public eye. Okay? In the public eye. I could laugh at many things. From, we could look at the gas prices right now of what's going on in the wars. Because if people want to just say this is Israel, Iran, and America, nah, this is bigger than that. Okay? This is bigger than that. And I'm sick of the nonsense, because it's just the cycle that goes on. It's the same nonsense. Okay? I can remember when I was 13 years old, and I'm little, and I'm just, it's not, I didn't know what I know. But I felt that something was weird going on in the world. And when I look at it now of me speaking, this is all the stuff that was happening in the world. This is the sickness. Okay? And I'm a draw it down to when I see a lot of people come on this internet and attack each other. No. You do not need to come on here and attack each other, because I remember when I first started really doing this content, and somebody told me, like, yo, how you is when you go crazy sometimes, Delvin. That's how you gonna need to go on the internet. I said, yo, this is what I told her. And this with a lot of people, I really want people to understand this. When I get mad or angry or upset, I don't like that person, okay? And for the people that think that they could look at you or talk to you or even tell you anything, you don't know how some people will try to keep that person inside of them, or keep that energy inside of them. Because I always tell people, you don't know how that feels. This is coming out of me. This ain't from you. You could just look at it and you could just judge it. But you don't know how that make my mental feel, my physical feel, and my spiritual feel. So this is why I always tell people, for real, I don't like getting mad, Okay, because it's me getting mad. It's somebody inside of me that I don't like to come out. And it's no joke at all, because I watch people call themselves monsters, savages, demons, this and that. I'm none of that. I could never portray to be none of that. Because if I say I live with Jah and Jah created me, how could I ever make a small entity be bigger than my father? Be bigger than my mother? And when I say father and mother, a lot of you people like to say, oh, Jah, but let me tell you this. I call the superior a man and a woman. You cannot divide that. How people would like to go singular and say, oh, the Most High could be a woman, or the Most High is... I ain't with that. I'm not with that. Okay, because I'm going to put it to you like this, how I can always put it. You cannot put the Most High in any freaking box. You think you're going to say the Most High is all black, the Most High is all white, the Most High like all green, the Most High like all brown. No. No. You humans cannot fit the Most High in any box that you make up. Okay? Because how big this universe is, and this is just one universe that we live in. Think about the thousands of universes out there. And that's just a little scope of what we can't even see as humans. So imagine what the Most High have to see and is seeing. You know, that's why when you look at your life as a human, you should be lucky. You should be happy. You should be okay. And this is why I say some people be acting like their life is worse, but you ain't been through nothing. And the thing is, like I told my coworker yesterday, sometimes we put ourselves in situations that we don't even need to be in. Sometimes we jump in the pool when we don't even need to jump in the pool. You better walk around there. Walk around. Because even though you want to get to the other side, you could pick another direction to get to the other side. You don't got to, how you see the other side over there and you want to go to a straight path. Now, sometimes you're going to have to make your little turns. You're going to have to maneuver different. Okay? And blessings to everybody out there, man, that's trying to see stuff in a different way. Because I don't like when people say, oh, we from the hood and we're from the ghetto. We must think ignorant. Let me tell you one thing that I always looked at the hood and the ghetto different. When everybody used to look at certain things one way, I used to always look at things in a whole nother weird way, where people used to say, Delvin, why you gotta think like that? Or kid, why you gotta think like that? I say, because that's the way my brain is programmed. That's the way it is. If I look at something, for an example, I remember I told this story before, that a famous person that used to ride bikes, you know, in the South Bronx where I was from, got arrested. And I remember I went, got a white pill bucket, and me and a couple of my friends, we start collecting money to try to get him out of jail. But that was us as little kids thinking. You feel me? And many people may say, oh, that's crazy. But you know what? That was our creative thinking. Because we thought he was... I'm not going to say we thought he was somebody. He was somebody big in our community and in our neighborhood. And little kids, we looked up to him in a certain way. And when we found out, I was the ringleader of it. We got a bucket and we started making people throw money in it. Okay? And people threw money in it. And I remember when a couple of the elders on our block told us, yo, that's a good idea, but that's not how stuff go. Okay? And you know what? Let me tell you the brightness of that story. We seen something as little kids where we thought we could have solved the problem. Okay? of what we came up in our minds, what we came up with in our minds, excuse me. And when adults came to us to make the situation look better, they explained to us that's not how things go. But as kids, with no knowledge of certain things, you're gonna create things. And that was an important lesson in my life because it made me think like, yeah, we did get a lot of this money, but if we use the money in a correct way, we could possibly get him out of jail. Okay? But how we was just collecting the money as kids and thinking that when we get this money and it get to the bucket height, we gonna go get him out of jail. But we didn't know. We little kids back then. We couldn't even reach the phone on the counter. Okay, so it's like we couldn't even like write script. Okay, cursive. We couldn't like most of us, our parents still took us to school, or our big brothers. Okay, we were still kids. But the thing is, and this is why I say you don't never dim anybody lights, but mostly in this world, it ain't about a color, it ain't about a religion, and it ain't about a gender. You don't dim the young kids, you don't dim the young youths them. You let them think, you let them imagine, you let them create. Because if you look at a lot of the humans in this world, if you give a lot of young kids time and space, they will create magic. But if you see what they are living in right now, they're going to create what you see, what we all see. Some people will try to act like this is a science test, but it's not a science test. Okay? Because some people they may want to make it difficult in search, but the answers and the questions are right there in front of all of our faces. Now, this is the thing. Many answers we would have to search for. But the thing is, if you do it in the correct way, you wouldn't have to search far. Let me give respect to my brothers out there. Hold on, man. I'm gonna read y'all comments because I ain't gonna be disrespectful like that. I just wanted to get a couple of things off my chest, and I still want to get this off my chest about Cameron, Mace, and Sean. I'm coming for you in a minute. Let me just read my brother comments. Okay. Big up, bro. God bless. God bless to both of y'all, man. Rastafari. Rastafari. Hold on 1 minute. I'm still here at work. But let me see. I just got an hour left. I'm trying to get out of here. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, as I was just saying before I said hold on. Yeah, I'm just trying to knock this hour out. And I don't know, to be honest with you, I will possibly come on later live, but or maybe not, cause to I don't know, Marlene or Proud Mixed Child may have a joint later on that I may listen to, so I'll probably listen to one of their joints later on before I even get back up on this joint. Alright, I'm sorry about that. Okay, God bless, brother. God bless. Peace, Proud. Mister. Okay. Peace. Peace, King Delvin. I was picking up my grandbabies. They said peace, y'all. Peace to them and much love to them, man. Oh, shoot. I don't even... Where's my hat? Forget that right now. Well, bless to you and your grandbabies. The world is sour, but it won't make me sour. Nah, and that's real respect right there. Like many times I'm gonna be real. I wrestle with the world because I'm not gonna be one of them people that come up here that be trying to lie. Nah, since I could remember as a kid, it may sound stupid to many people, but I always try to save the world. And many people did call me crazy, but as I always say, when Delvin came like Superman, I wasn't crazy when nobody had your back. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna brag on certain things, but that's all I'll say. When Delvin came to save the day like Superman, when nobody ain't have your back, and that's with more than 100 people in my lifetime. So when you look at things different nowadays, you look at things different, and it's funny to me nowadays of how some things are, because people don't appreciate what's real. People don't appreciate things with value no more. Only some people do. Okay. Be not of this world. And that's true, man. Like, people have to, like, even though we look at this physical body, and this is taking religion out of it, but just remember that it's something else other than your physical, okay? And that's all, like, because, like, sometimes I don't like when humans like to play hardball. And what I mean by that, right? You thinking that is your human body, your physical body, controlling everything only. If you think that, go ahead. But just know at the end of the day, you're gonna see. Okay. Proud facts. Delvin, that's why my page is all about positive affirmations in life. The bullshit, I will save it for those into the bull. Yes, can love anyone, but let them know instantly they ain't gonna disrespect you. No, and that's the thing. I could give you my heart. And I could sit down with many different people as I did. But one thing I don't like in this world is disrespect. Okay? I don't care who you is. Because it's just going to make me go into something that you wouldn't like. Okay? I don't care. Like, because people think it's okay to disrespect. No, sorry. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Originality is currency, bro. Chef it up. And this is, I want the world, shout out to Open Minded and shout out to Proud Mixed Child. When I get home, I'm going to read this little short poem that one of my homegirls wrote like 16 years ago on back of a picture. And she wrote this of certain things I used to say to people, and I used to say to her, and I used to say to myself. And I'm just going to paraphrase it right now. Be yourself. And by being yourself is the only true way many people in this world could love you. You think people are going to love you because you're trying to fake and be other people? They're going to love you faking. Okay? Because if you're faking to be like others, right? And people give you respect for you being like others, and you know in your heart and soul that you're not being yourself, what you think that is? Huh? What you think that is? It's not real love. I always say you don't have to respect me, but you're not gonna disrespect me. Nah, this the shit, like, for real. Adults should respect adults. Just like everybody, human beings need to respect human beings, and it starts from your young. Okay? It starts from you're young. Don't matter if you don't have no parents, but guardians and people that you grow up around should teach you. And then it gets to common sense. You don't want somebody disrespecting you and treating you like a dog. So simply, if when some people will be saying, "Oh, he grew up in the hood or she grew up in the hood," that don't mean nothing, okay? Cause check this out. As a dog don't need orders to dig his bone and bury his bone, a human don't need a person to tell them what's common sense and to have respect for another. Because when you have respect for yourself, you're going to treat a person the same way you want that person to treat you. And you're not going to be disrespecting people. So forget all that stuff where you from. I don't believe in that. It ain't about none of that where you from of how you going to be respectful. Or where you from is you going to be disrespectful. That joint is an old myth and lie. Okay. Oh yeah, open-minded Proud Mix have a page, you know. I'm going to share his page on my timeline, or I guess you could type in his name, Proud Mix Child, in the search engine and you could find it. And y'all could do the same for each other, man. Like no diesel. No. Nah, everybody can help each other out that's on this journey of positive message, you know, and good energy. I wonder why some humans don't understand plain common sense. Okay? Plain common sense. Okay. Okay. I support the real 100. Proud, I be trying to find you, but I can't. Well, I'll put the page up on my community tab when I'm finished so you could see the page, you know. Cause that's the thing. I be liking real people to connect, and like when you like to get deep, I like real souls to connect, cause in this world that we live in right now, they'll try to divide the people, but we have the strength to come together. We have the strength to open many people's eyes, minds, souls, and to teach people different stuff. You know, like, and this is why, sometimes, yeah, I do miss Marlene lives and her stuff, but you know what? She is one of the people that I will always shout out because I like her energy, you know? I like her energy, open-minded. He's one of the elders that came on this YouTube and he stick to the script of what he came up here with. I don't see him acting like a child, okay? Proud Mixed Child. I bumped into his page from off of Marlene page, and you know what? Love is love. You feel me? Because you have some days where I'm going to be telling you. I'm going to tell you, yeah. Like, I watch other, big podcasts, but if I just throw a rabbit out the hat, when it comes to Marlene, open-minded, and Proud Mixed Child, I don't have a problem in listening to what they say. Because, like, some people will think, like, what they saying is not good for my ego. You feel me? It's good for my soul. And this is why I always tell people, like, I don't want to listen to something that don't make sense for me and the rest of the world. But if I'm going to listen to it, it must serve a big purpose in humanity and in this universe itself. Okay. If somebody mention you in a negative light, it's all good. But if you respond to them because they mention you first, you clout chasing. The way things are screwed today is wild. And that's what I say, like, I'm not from that generation, you feel me? When people could tell you, how to talk or tell you what it is. No. I'm from that generation, no disrespect to nobody, but F your clout chasing, F your trolling, you feel me? We ain't from that. Because to me, adults that keep on portraying this clout chasing and this trolling, I'm going to be honest, man. You children, and you like, sorry, y'all, please forgive me for saying this. Please. You are easily controlled, okay? For real, let's just put it like that. Anybody that could actually say clout chasing and trolling and all of this stuff, I already tell the type of person you is. Because an adult ain't even supposed to swim in that type of pool. Okay? And what you want to say? Get your money? What type of money is you getting? It ain't no money. Proud Mix, I'ma look it up again. You either the hunter or the hunted in the streets. And that's the way it is, you know, like it's either you're gonna be predator or prey. And that's deeper than the streets. That's in this world. Okay? That's in this world. Cause people be thinking that the streets is something. The streets ain't nothing compared to this world. Okay? Let's just cut it. The deceitful stuff that goes on in world history, the streets ain't got nothing on it, okay? Because let me tell you this, the streets, or what you think is the streets, took different things out of world history and called it a lifestyle, okay? Proud, I found you. I left a comment on your post in your community wall. Okay, that's what it do. Bless up. Mister, I appreciate that 100. Delvin, the devil be lurking, so the righteous must keep working. Man, I'ma keep working, and I ain't gonna never stop. Even when my physical flesh is gone, when this real life start, I'ma keep on burning the fire. I always tell people this don't stop. It's never gonna stop. Yes, I may feel tired mentally, and I may be tired physically. But spiritually, I gotta keep this fire burning. Okay. I love Busta Rhymes' song, The Ghetto. It breaks it all down. If I'm correct, Busta Rhymes, that's with Busta Rhymes. And he had Rick James, I think, on the chorus. When he made Rick James' song over. I forgot what album is that. The Big Bang? I think I got that album too still. The CD. One day I really have to get all of my CDs out, and I think I'm going to do, maybe in the summer, I think I'm going to do a mixtape like in Music Live, you know, and show some of the legendary music from like, you know, reggae and rap, you know, that from the early 2000s, you know, because I'm gonna keep saying this, and I didn't put it out really, but I never leave the mixtape game alone. And when it comes to Bronx and Brooklyn and even Harlem and even Queens or New York City as a whole, I hear a lot of people be talking about the mixtape game in hip hop and the quote unquote rap game, right? And a lot of people will talk about, when it comes to the mixtape game of hustling, the mixtapes and all that, they will talk about Houston and they'll talk about Oakland. But let me say this. People like DJ Kid Capri, people like Bruce CB, they've been doing this mixtape thing. So like, and I'm going to always shout you out. Shout out to Disco King Mario. Okay? Shout out to DJ Doo-Wop. Okay? One of the hardest DJ / rappers you ever seen in the hip hop music industry. DJ Doo-Wop. So like, K Slay, shout out to you, man. Today Thursday, we going like, for real, 2 times for the drama hour, man. Thursday 2 to 12, man. The drama hour, lock in, for real. All right. Delvin, that's why I did that post. I did that post called "Follow the Leader." Nah, and that's the thing, man. We don't need no followers. And the thing is, I don't want to bash that, cause like my mom's always used to tell me when me and my brother was little, you better explain something that you did, and it was to the point where, remember when they used to give us the essays and we used to always try to cheat just to do 3 little paragraphs and tell the teacher that's done? As I told you one time, I remember my brother and my mom's was the 2 people that showed me how to do an essay, beginning, middle, and end. And I remember in Bushwick High School, when my teacher made me do an essay, and I used to do a lot of essays, but it made my writing of my creativity in my mind. I remember when I told him I ain't really had nothing to really write about, and he told me, he said, write about what you did last night. I said, boop! And that's how, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, at that time, I wasn't thinking to write about something that happened in the community or the hood or the ghetto or a block. I wasn't thinking like that. And this is why you can't bash people, or you can't bash something that you don't know, and you can't judge, because if I judge myself, I could be honest with you, I wasn't thinking at that moment. Hold on. Yeah, I wasn't thinking at that moment and at that time to really say like, yo, I'm going to write about what we did last night, or what I did, or what happened last night. I didn't, like, I wasn't thinking like that. And this is why I say sometimes your brain, or your mind, as you want to call it, could be all flustered. But this is why you need to be humble and at peace many times. Because I learned in my lifetime, when I was angry or mad and upset, and when I take it to a certain place where I shouldn't take it, I lose things, I forget things, I stress myself out, I get headache, and I had to learn to woosah within myself, to keep myself at peace, and it worked good, because trust me, like, you don't want somebody to take you out of your own skin. They gotta fail first to succeed second. Take a L is a life lesson every day. And that's when people, you gotta lose in order to win. And if you lost, right, it's just like I remember I told my brother the other day, and my mom's, I was like, yo, some people would think that if you lost something, like as in a basketball game. I remember I told my brother, I remember when I was 12 years old, and me and 4 of my boys, we lost the basketball game. And like, I was mad. I was tight, because I remember I wanted them to run it back, and it was like, nah, they ain't running it back. I remember I walked home, bouncing my ball, and I was mad. I was mad, like, I can't. I would just say I was very upset. You know, that's all I will say on this internet. I was very upset. Okay, life is not about a gender or a color or a race or a religion. It is about a purpose, and some humans don't even understand their own purpose. Sorry, God. I tell people I didn't make it to 54 by mistake. I made it with a purpose. God bless. Word. Peace to the grandbabies. Peace to your grandbabies for real. Thanks, Proud. You're welcome, Mr. Proud. I seen your comments on my page. Thanks for stopping by. Mr. No Problem 100. I'd rather stand out in the hardest of rain because that type of pain washes away my eternal, still giving me hope to rid how life has left me stained. So be not of this world. Now we can't don't never look at this joint like this is something to hold on to. We're just here for a moment, and this is not something that you would want to. Don't hold this so deep in your heart, because it will vanish away. It will vanish away. Proud facts 100. I found it, Delvin. Okay. Reach one, teach one. You damn right. Well, as we say, man, I smoke, you smoke, we all smoke. And I ain't talking about weed. Wisdom is immortal. And that's true. Like, you're sure right about that. Knowledge creates wisdom. Knowledge creates wisdom, and wisdom creates understanding. Facts. Excuse me. Okay. Let me see. New York shit off the Big Bang was on repeat for me. I'm on my New York shit. Hat tilt back to. Oh man, I ain't hear that song in like probably over 10 years, I think, or a good minute to even put some skill on that. Wow. You know how much albums come out? Like, so much music albums come out a year that I don't even keep up to a lot. I try to keep up to the main people that I listen to, but that'll be another subject for another time. Of when I was telling my brother the other day of how a lot of the music genres are going away, and I don't care how nobody put it. A lot of brothers and sisters sold out. That's why I put that video of that Chains with Rockefeller, G Unit. All of them, like, where are your labels? But that's another story for another time. I ain't gonna entertain the spectators by drowning my brother and sisters for some bread. I'd rather be a builder and not a building, but one who builds buildings. The corporation always becomes a corpse. Yes, sir. Yeah, street sweepers, man. I got I still got probably like 7 street sweeper mixtapes or more, and like, I love my mixtapes, because when you had DJs like K Slay, DJ Clue going at it, DJ Sus One, like, this, like, DJ Absolute. I remember when a lot of people was when Absolute wasn't really getting shows in New York, and people tried to bully Absolute, but it wasn't to say Absolute was no punk, but as I say, people would always try to, when they look at you humble and nice, people would always try things. You feel me? And to be honest with you, DJ Absolute is one of my best DJs of all times when it comes to, I will say, what, American DJs, because when you look at selectors in the Caribbean islands, it's different, like I will say selectors, they call them DJs up here, but in the Caribbean islands like Jamaica, Trinidad, they're selectors, so it's different, Some people may think it's the same, but it ain't the same at all, And that's why I be saying a lot of people if you think like Nas, Jay-Z, 50, trust me, it have Caribbean artists that are nice, okay, and lyrical. But the thing is, a lot of people will like to think that, what you think, Caribbean people don't have lyrics? No, a lot of Caribbean people are very lyrical, and a lot of Caribbean people are very smart, But people will think that, they'll think different. DJ SNS Primo. Oh no, Primo is a legend. Primo is a legend. Primo ain't never stopped. Whoa, shoot. Whoa, shoot. He said Ninth Wonder. Whoa, bro. Whoa, you taking it back right there, man. I remember when a lot of people was sleeping on Ninth Wonder and gave people like Rockwilder, Timberland, and what's the other dude named? Rockwilder, Timberland, and Swiss Beats. They was giving them more respect, and you won't really, and that's the thing, like, even what was the dude that's down with Talib Kweli, High Tech used to make some beats. And it's the thing that I don't like about, like, people in the world when it comes to producers. People be thinking that you have to have a good, like, you have to have a popular name for people to respect your production, your instrumentals. Like, nah, for real, come on. Madlib, Dilla, R.I.P. And even Jay Dilla. Like, a lot of people in the East Coast, we look at, see, some people that say like Timberland from the South, and I'll give it to him, VA, but people sleep on Timberland, and I'm not gonna lie, Timberland, like, back in the early 2000s, Timberland just had some, I'm gonna be honest, man. Timberland had, what's that shit they call, you make the ugly face? Timberland had ugly face beats, okay? He had ugly face beats, and shout out to Timberland, because I ain't gonna even lie on that. I gotta finish up here at work. Stay safe and blessed. Take care, bros. Peace, light. Peace and light on y'all. Bless up to you, man. Thank you very much, brother. And I hope you have a good day. God bless, for real. Thank you for your time and your energy. Okay, Ninth Wonder. No, Ninth Wonder is like one of them producers, that I don't like when people be sleeping on people just because you ain't got a popular name. For example, like Dame Grease. I don't care what you say. Dame Grease is one of the best hip hop producers you ever heard in hip hop. Okay? One of the best. Thank you, Proud Mix and Open Minded, for being in the building, man. Thank y'all very much, you know. No, Dame, let me see. If I be Bronx bias, I'll say, like, I would say, like, Swiss Beats is, like, if I had to just, like, throw a rabbit out the hat of saying, like, yo, who's one of your favorite producers of all time? Or say, if I just throw a rabbit out the hat, I'll have to say Rockweiler and Swiss Beats. But then if I sit down, I'll have to go to the southern producers and stuff, like, because people sleep on southern producers and even West Coast producers, like, shout out to Daz Dangler. People used to thought Daz was just down with the Dog Pound. No, Daz was a producer too. And even Dre, DJ Quick. Like, come on. You know how much people sleep on DJ Quick? I know Dre get a lot of credit from the West Coast, but come on. Are y'all really sleeping on DJ Quick? Because I'm going to say like this. And this is no disrespect to you, Quick, because you're one of my favorite West Coast producers and even, like, artists, for real, because Quick is easy with it. I would say Quick is better than Dre, but knowing, like, that's like saying in the NBA, oh, LeBron, he ain't better than Carmelo Anthony. Everybody gonna look at you like you crazy. Okay, but why should I be crazy for my opinion? I shouldn't be crazy for how I feel, right? Okay. Now, and this is, you may be wrong, but you ain't wrong for your opinion, For real. And that's what people got to start realizing. Yeah, you may be wrong, but you ain't wrong for your opinion. And that doesn't mean that you could talk trash or you could act like your opinion is better than people. Because just because you have feelings on your opinion doesn't mean your opinion is fact. Okay? And that's what a lot of people be thinking. Just because you have emotions too with your opinion, so what? That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing at all. Wow, I've been on here for an hour. I didn't, you know what? Open-minded and proud McShaw. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate that. For y'all being in the building, and holding it down. I appreciate that. I think I'll chop it up here for, 2 more minutes to make it 105. But now I like to come on here and actually speak sense. And, as I said, if I could say something that could help your day go by or help what you need to do get better, I'm with it. Because I'm with the building. I'm not with the destroyers. And I'm not with people. I don't care who you is. I'm not with fake stuff. I don't care who you is. I'm not with fake stuff. And I don't get along with the fake stuff in this world. I don't care who you is. I don't care who you may think you are. Who you may think you may be. Excuse me. But I ain't with it. Because even with that, I ain't going. Some people that try to be too perfect. I just want to be too much of myself, That's what I want to be, myself. I want to be full in being myself, being clear of being myself. Proud McShaw, thank you. Open-minded, thank you. Everybody else that joined the chat, thank you. Like, God bless and lion love to everybody out there, man. Like, don't be scared to be yourself. You know, don't be.